Hey guys, Fuse here, and I'm about to make your day. So, not that long ago, I'd be playing this game, and I'd try to let it auto run on BlueStacks. That thing, it's a phone emulator. That's what BlueStacks is. And it honestly couldn't keep up with my phone if it had to. So, at least it did allow me to auto run while I was at work. I was able to speed roll loot. I thought it was the bee's knees, right? But while I would come home and I'd be kicked off of it, it just was not a very, you couldn't trust it, right? It wasn't that good of a deal. Well, one day, one of my viewers, actually a couple times, and I just didn't quite catch on what he was trying to do, came along to save the day. So Lupo was like, man, Fuse, I'm trying to help you, man. Use OMG Click. Well, I got OMG Click and was spoiled. I could auto run things, auto sell while I was auto running, which is a huge feature. I could do it on my Plarium app where it ran fast, smooth, looked good. I could do it while I'm making content. And then not that long ago, I logged on just to realize that OMG Click was no longer available. It was gone. So yeah, back to the Stone Ages, be driving through town, tied to my phone, trying to hit it every time I got back to my truck in between calls. It was rough. So I looked around. I had to find something I really needed to replace OMG Click with something that could do everything it did. And I found the tool. So here we go. We're going to get into RSL Helper. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want is to be able to run dungeons while you're away. You want to be able to, while you're sleeping, grind for potions, run Minotaur. So this first page right here under the auto clicker does it all. And it shows the team you're running. It shows the stats. It shows how well booked they are. You can look everything up that you need to see. So to run dungeons, let's look at all the amazing things this can do. All right. First of all, you hit play and it starts running dungeons. But you can set up parameters any way you want. Let's say Fire Night is coming up tomorrow. It starts at 6 a.m. where you are, and you know you need 2,500 event points. Right here where it says target event points, you can type 2,500 in right here. It's going to not stop running until you have your 2,500 and you're done with that tournament or that event. You can tell it to start right here at 6 a.m. because you know that it's going to be effective at that time. That means you're not wasting energy until that event hits. If you can forget about the event, you can just tell it to run 50 runs. Maybe that's what you need for finishing out some kind of mission or, any clan quest, something like that. You can tell it to run until you have so many tier 3 potions because you're trying to level up, ascend one of your new Legos. You can come in here and you can pretty much set any parameter you want. Tell it to go until you have all of your Minnow scrolls. But when you're running this, you have options. You can run infinitely, which is one way to do it. You can tell it to shut down when it's done if you want, but basically run effective resources is the way to go. So we'll get into more how you can auto refill and all that, but run effective resources means that it's going to run your energy out and it's just going to sit and wait until your energy refills to 16, 20, whatever it is you need. It doesn't work. It does work with super raids. So if you need 32 to run, it'll wait till you hit 32. It'll run it again and just keep waiting and using that energy. So that's my favorite way to go. So I can just leave it running while I'm asleep. But let's say you were going for 2,500 event points. Again, let's say Fire Night started tomorrow at 6 a.m. You set it up for 6 a.m. You want 2,500 points. You can tell it to run effective resources and then go down here and tell it to auto refill. And this thing's going to run until you have your 2,500 points. That's it. Easy as that. You will win it'll use gems. It'll use refills from your bag until you have what you need. And then you're done. You don't even have to think about it. Absolutely a wonderful tool. Like super wonderful. You're gonna get to meet your kids again. I'm telling you, you're gonna have all your time back. Even better, it's got an auto forge, which is really cool. It'll sell what it forges when you go to auto sell. Let's look at you set up your sell options. So basically you tell it to sell everything that's 1, 2, 3, and maybe where you're at 4-star. Then you can go to 5-star and say, if I get a 5-star epic or lower, sell it. I only want my legendary 5 stars to look through. And then maybe you want to keep your rares and above on 6-star gear. That'll be your parameters. You can come down here and even tell it when you're looking at rings, only keep them if they have attack and HP percentage. I do not use this because I usually just go through all my 6-star rings. banners myself, but you turn this on and tell it, all right, I don't want a banner unless X, Y, or Z. But it gets even deeper. Over here, you tell it sell all flat stat HP on chest, gloves, and boots. Attack, defense, flat stats. You click those, even if it's a 6-star legendary, if it's got a flat stat, it'll sell it. Amulets, it'll sell all attack flat stat amulets. And the reason you would do that is because if you're building up for damage, you always want crit damage necklace. That being said, there are some very special spots like bomb characters where you might want a few. But in the end, you don't need many of those. You might as well sell any amulet that has a flat stat attack. And banners, you can tell it to ignore everything you've told it before and keep all banners that have accuracy and all banners that have speed. That way you're getting banners that can speed up your heroes, or, accuracy banners are something you never want to sell, at least especially when you're mid-game. And then boots, keep all speed main stat boots, because those can be important even if they are a 5-star rare. Other than that, I don't want to keep them, so I sell them. Anything that's under its epic or lower 5-star, I can just sell automatically. We'll show it. It's doing it in the background right now. We just sold something and we're going to run it again automatically. I just ran out of energy, so it's waiting until I get more energy, and it'll go back in and start selling that spider loot for me. So we're going to stop doing that for a minute and keep exploring, because this does so much stuff. So yeah, you tell it any speed gear that has a speed substat can bypass all of the rules that you just went over, and tell it to keep all 5 and 6-star that does have speed as a substat. Absolutely amazing way to go. And then you can even get really into it and tell it, all right, when I get a 6-star piece of gear, I don't want to keep it with 5% HP or lower. Or maybe I don't want crit rate. If it's lower than 5%, I want to sell it. If you really get into it, that's pretty cool. Then if you want to see that you didn't mess anything up, you come over here and say, okay, what if I got some gloves and the main stat was crit rate, crit damage? They have some crit rate on them. You can even tell it what percentage here. And they've got some, speed on them. Is it going to sell it if I kit it? Because you want to check and be sure that it's not going to. You hit sell check and it says item is kept. You know that you're not messing up selling things that you want. Super cool way to just kind of check on everything. Once you've set up the things you want to sell, you go back. And then when you start running on stage 12.3, whatever it is, it's going to sell everything that you don't need. When it's running through dragons, it'll sell the things that are the parameters are set. It's going to take care of it. Also, it does have the ability to sub in food when you're running. We'll get into all that in a minute. So let's look at this. Is just absolutely amazing. It shows everything you need to know right here on this screen. So let's real quick. We can stop this. No point running. I'm out of energy. It's got some more tabs that do some amazing things. This clan boss simulator, I did set up a team just to make sure that it was going to work. And, let's just say we have some heroes in here. I still like the calculator that Deadwood worked so hard on. But let me get this in a frame for you. You go through here and you set up your speeds. You tell them how fast they are. And then it starts going through and showing you exactly what's going to happen during the rotations, making sure your counterattacks are where you want them, or your shield is up when you want it. So this right here is pretty amazing itself. It could be useful in the middle of playing a game. You could be checking this out, making sure that everything's staying in order. No point in going through that too much, but it does work. I checked it out. It does work. So we've also got some amazing tools here. So you can come through here when you got some special deal going on. And, let's say it's got some books and some chickens. Just copy it all into here, tell it what it's selling, and then come up here and say that, okay, it's asking for $40. And it says here what Farb Stuff is the guy who created this, by the way. And there is a donate button. We'll go over that because this is amazing. He did a lot of work. He's always kind of adding things to it. So if you want to donate to that guy, go ahead and do it. But this is what his maximum price would be. And so it looks like we just randomly made one up and we're right at it. But if you're over this price, he's basically saying the value's not there. They're just trying to get your money. So if you want to check into that daily deals and stuff, go here. Make sure you set it to dollars if you're using dollars, euros if you're using euros. Just make sure you're getting it right. But then there's even more. So you can check your drop chance. Let's say there's a target hero that you're really wanting, but there's 5 of them in there, and it is a 10x event, and then, you know, there's a 2x going on at the same time. It kind of tells you, you know, you can get into this. You kind of know your odds anyway, so it's not a big deal. This is actually really cool. This is super cool. And so is this next tool. So under the tools tab, let me get this centered up. Let's say you're going up a boss in Doom Tower with 250 resistance. You want to know what you have to have on your hero to start landing your debuffs. Let's say you've only got 180 accuracy. You only have a 23% chance of landing your debuff. So now you want to know where you need to be on that boss. So let's go with 220 is where a lot of people will be from mid-game. You're at a 70% chance. Probably not good enough if you're trying to down a difficult boss. So now you can start exploring. When do you get to that magic 95, 96% chance? Let's try 250. Okay, we're at 92. That's acceptable. 95 to 96 is kind of your target. So let's go to 280. And now we're at 96.2. And you'll notice that we stay in that range. There's always that 3% chance no matter what you do that you will miss with debuffs. You're in that range where you're doing pretty much your maximum use. 300 is probably your actual, that's probably your best spot right there. Because you can add this, let's go with 600. Look, the difference literally is just right up to that 97%. So you can find that sweet spot, you know, 280 to 300, where you don't have to worry about piling more accuracy on. You know, you're pretty much right where you need to be. So I love this tool. I love this. You can go find spreadsheets with all the boss's information, plug in his resistance, know exactly the accuracy you need, and the damage calculator. This is cool. You're building a champion. Let's say you're trying to decide, do I need more attack or more crit rate? Let's say you got 4,000 attack or defense or HP, whatever they're based on. You got 4,000 attack on him, and you can only get 200 crit rate. This is the effective damage you should throw out. All right. I mean, this is a made up number to show you which one you need more of. Let's say, well, okay, I can get more crit rate, but I'll be down to 3,400 attack when I change this gear out, but I will be able to get 260% crit rate. That actually will get you more damage. So you can play with these numbers. You'd be amazed. There's strange balance points where things can change up. Let's say that you go with 6,000, 5,500 attack. Now you're doing a lot of damage. And even if you keep up in this, that's enough attack. You're not going to, let's go with 280. You just can't keep up with that amount of attack. Now there's a point where each one has diminished returns. So that's what this is cool for. You can play around with it. Now let's say that you can get that high crit damage, but you can get, you know, more like 4,300. You see, we're starting to balance out again. So you can look at your gear. When you're trying on your gear, you can look here, see what's most effective. So all these tools are super cool. Let's go into the champion index is cool. You can real quick check out every champion you have, right? You can go in by factions. It gives you all the information. Here's the debuffs they throw out, the buffs they throw out. You can go by affinity, rarity, but then even cooler. Let's say you need a provoker. Let's click provoke. Here's your provokers. You can see if they're built out. You can try to decide who do I want to bring against that magma dragon, who's got the accuracy I need. So I've got Solus up here. These are his base stats. Sorry, these are his base stats. But can you click on him? Okay, I thought it actually showed it, but still, you go to provoke and find all the champions that you do have built out, all the way through into your vault. Everything you can. Let's say that you just built out a seer. And you're looking for the right buffs to make her do the most damage she can. You know you're going to want crit buffs, because if a crit buff's up, she'll use her karma burn on her first move. So you just come through and you look for a 30% crit damage or a crit buff where, there we go. Or you can even look for 15%. That's good enough. But you go here and you see it's taking a minute to load up. I've got a lot going in the background, but you know, it shows all my heroes that can throw up that crit buff, making it really quick for her to come through and use her move. So champion index is really cool. The event tracker I have not been using. I'm going to check that out later. It wants me to load it up as administrator before I load my game up. So, you know, I haven't really gotten into that one. It does have a shard tracker. Now, the problem with the shard tracker is it can't get into the coating. They hid that behind the wall. So it's something that you really can't do, but it will track shards. I'm going to real quick hop on my other account because I've been using it on my second account and taking my account with me mobily. That way I can kind of play both and keep them going. But my other one pulled its shards to get through this event, and I'll show you real quick what it's doing. Okay, so on this account, I actually did my event shard pulls to get through the tournament or event. I did it with this actually going, so it is keeping track of everything I pulled. I pulled 11 voids, 1 sacred, and or 3 sacred, yeah, whatever. 1 sacred, 3 ancients. And I do know on this account, I pulled Venus like not long ago at all, and I also pulled Rhodos from a regular ancient shard. That means I am pretty close to being right. So if you get in that spot where you know the last time you pulled a legendary, it'll start tracking them, and it will at least let you know if this gets up to 150, you're starting to get close, you know, at least you got an idea. So it's not too bad. If you think about it, it can still help you out. There are some settings in here. You can set up some pretty cool parameters. Just kind of, you know, telling it how long you want to go between the clicks and all that good stuff. The Clan Boss Simulator's got some adjustments you can make. This thing's amazing, but I know you want a speed roll. This is pretty awesome. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. So when you are frames per second, click auto detection. Whatever you have your game set at to run, the reason I run 60 is because it seems to give me less video lag when I'm recording at the same frame rate, rendering. So anyways, whatever you have it set at, unlimited, 144, it's going to run just fine. But as soon as you go into your gear, let's real quick, let's go roll a piece of gear. I got to buy it. Got to buy the shard. So we go in here, and as soon as I click on the gear tab, when I find, let's say we're going to roll this up and go to upgrade, it automatically switches to 10 frames per second, which means I can really quick, we don't want to go to 8. We can really quick roll it up. You don't have to adjust the thing. It does it for you. And when you're done, you simply exit and automatically it goes back to 60. It's that easy. This thing is amazing and ridiculous. Like, it's going to change your life. I'm telling you, RSL Helper is the way to go. So let's go back to the auto clicker settings. You can set food as well. I need to update this, which is another great feature. Right here, it tells you click here to update. OMG click, I always had to get a new download and reinstall it basically. This one you can click and update, but if it were updated, you go to sell food, which this is how I went through my tournament yesterday. You tell it, you know, while you're gone, you've got 8 level 3s you want to level, maybe 12 level 4s, and it'll just sit there and level them while you're at work. Everything from 1 star up to 5. So you can get so much done using it. It literally will change your life. It'll definitely change your game. So I just wanted to go over all the fun, amazing things that are going to help you out right off the bat. Don't forget, right here is a donate button because this guy's worked really hard. He's always improving. It seems that there's new things constantly coming out. That's really it. I just want to help you guys out. This is the best auto clicker that I've found. If you know of one that you like better, leave it in the comments and I'll check that out too. But this seems to be the one that can replace OMG Click and then some. Anyways, I hope this helps you. I really do. I hope you enjoy it. If you've been looking for an auto clicker, RSL Helper seems to be the one that I've found that I love. And until next time, enjoy the grind.